Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. It's time for another GoBot review. This one's a little late in the month. I do apologize for that. Things have been a little chaotic here in my life. But we're going to take a look at another one that was offered in the Wendy's Kids Meal. This time we've got a Guardian. We have GuideStar. GuideStar would be released in 1985 and would only be available for a period of a few weeks during the availability of the toys in the kids' meal. So far, though, I have yet to find any evidence that GuideStar would later be distributed through Kool-Aid like some of his compatriots were. Now, immediately when you take a look at GuideStar, you notice something odd about him. GuideStar, for whatever reason, has no arms. Unless any of these molded-in pieces here are intended to be arms, the figure has no arms. Nope, not broken or anything. This isn't a broken toy. This is the way it was built. He has no arms. Other than that, you basically got some blue plastic down here, and you got a lot of paint details, which, as you can imagine, on many of the loose samples, a lot of this paint is probably destroyed or long gone due to it being on the bottom. So any rough scrapes against surfaces is going to tear up the paint job real bad. Now, to convert GuideStar, it's a pretty simple process. I'm sure many of you are have already figured it out just by looking at him. Basically, we compress the legs and the body together, and there we have it. GuideStar is a super deformed version of the Space Shuttle Orbiter. But of course, the biggest difference between GuideStar and the official NASA shuttle is the fact that the wings are dark blue and not black. And of course, GuideStar also has no markings whatsoever. But there we have it. We have a cutesy little space shuttle. And swoosh is kind of good. About as good as you could expect. It would do well in a little child's hand. My gargantuan hands here make it a little difficult, but this way's a little better. And just like last time where we had a carded sample, I do have a carded sample here of GuideStar. It's done up in brighter colors to help signify that GuideStar is a Guardian, but of course it also says so right here under his name, Guardian Robot Spaceship. And of course we got the Wendy's logo and the GoBot's logo. Tonka logo down here at the bottom, and they say for kids of all ages. So that, I guess that means at nearly 40 I'm still a kid too. Take that as you may. On the back side here, just like with Pow Wow last week, we do actually have a bio for the character, so that was always a nice bonus on here. It says here, although gentle and peaceful by nature, GuideStar will fight the renegades if necessary, but he would rather outsmart them by using his remarkable computer knowledge. GuideStar's mission is to guide the Guardians through the darkness of space. So basically, yet again, in a military-themed toy line, we have another pacifist. It's becoming a common trope from the 80s anymore. And then down here we have the simple 3-step instruction, although I think a lot of this is pretty unnecessary, on how to convert Guide Star from robot to spaceship. And of course, I like this down here at the bottom. Carefully follow all instructions in order shown. Really? You can't make one more simpler than this. You have one step. How do you screw that up? And then, of course, down at the very, very bottom, you got the legalese that they always have. So now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of Guide Star? Unfortunately, this one, it's pretty clear, folks. This one is a bottom tier toy. The lack of any arms on him is really the biggest thing that turns off any playability with him whatsoever. Of course they would make someone like him a pacifist. There's a reason he can't fight the renegades. He doesn't have any hands. Has no hands, can't make a fist. He can't punch them. And judging by the way his legs are shaped, kicking them is almost out of a question. So what's he going to throw at a renegade? Harsh language? But at any rate, unfortunately, Guide Star suffers a lot with that. And all these paint details here on what would be the bottom of the spaceship. So you can imagine plane crashes or dragging him across the floor is going to destroy all that. You got one means of conversion. And you can imagine after several times of being converted like that, that mechanism is going to wear out at some point. I consider myself fortunate this one has not worn out. And even though we can also face it, the Guardians already had a space shuttle in the form of Spacey, whom I've already reviewed a few months back. And even though I reviewed her small form, even her small form does the job better than this. So, this one, pass on it. You don't need it in your collection. Unless you're a real big fan of spaceships or kids' meal toys. And that concludes my review of the Guardian GoBot Guide Star. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're a new subscriber to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you'll be notified as future videos get posted. Please also consider sharing your thoughts about Guide Star in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.